Compton crazy mother named Ice Cube. From the gang called Fellers with Attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a soda. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off. You too, boy, if you with me. The police are gonna have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out. For the pulp mothers, they're going out.
I've been looking forward to this, boys. I have. It's funny this because this is a toy line. If I had this toy line, or if my brothers had it, Jesse and Adam, we had one or two of them. So I've always remembered Micro Machines. Do you know what I mean? But it's never been one like. And it's funny because when we all do these streams, like me or the rest of the lads ever do a stream on collections and so forth, I think you two are the only people that have ever brought Micro Machines up. I don't think anybody else has. And I was thinking when you first did it, I thought, well, is it I couldn't remember whether it was just mini cars or did they transform and then I was trying to work it out. Was it the same as Mighty Max? But it wasn't, was it? It has the same type of purpose as Mighty Max. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't, was it? So anyway, I'm a professional, as you all know. So I looked it up on Wikipedia, and it says I want you to have a look at it first just to see what we were talking about. So it says Micro Machines were a line originally made by Galoob, which is now part of Hasbro. So that's something I didn't know. I never knew Hasbro bought out Galoob. From 1987 throughout the 90s, Micro Machines are a tiny scale component style playsets and vehicles that were slightly larger. And then it says where it was invented and the company. And then they also owned Wicked Cool Jazzwares, which I didn't know, all the way up to present. And the availability now. And this is something I was going to ask before, because I thought this was a vintage thing, but they're still making them. So it says 2020 till present. And then the slogan, I do remember this slogan though. If it doesn't say Micro Machines, it's not the real thing. So yeah, I was impressed by this. But where's your love come from for these things? So I'll start with you, Adam. Where's your love come from for Micro Machines?
For me, thanks for having us first and foremost, and it's great to talk about.
No, thanks for asking me to do it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to talk about a toy line, which I feel like is a bit underappreciated. And when I mean by underappreciated, there is actually thousands of people who collect Micro Machines, but it just feels quite underappreciated, if you know what I mean. And that's the thing. But for me, I just like the detail and the realism of them. So the whole thing, the whole tagline, if it doesn't say Micro Machine, it's not the real thing. It's because all Micro Machine vehicles that they made were based on real vehicles, and that's the thing. That was the thing. So whereas everything else, you might have licensing issues or something along the lines. Like Hot Wheels used to do a lot of concept stuff. Matchbox, they tended to do like for like, but for me, it was the accuracy and the detail that really got me. I love anything which is kind of should be one side, but is then like kind of shrunk, like, so I love like tiny little play sets.
Well, let me ask you, why do you think it is underappreciated? I don't think it is in a way. I think it's because when we were kids, when it's a sort of toy line that do you think it competes against things like Joe, Star Wars, He-Man and so forth, or was it just its own thing?
Back in the day, it definitely did. So I'm pretty sure there's a statistic that it was the most sold toy line in the back end of the 80s for 1 year. Like it was massive. There was a moment in time, especially when I was younger, I'd say about 1989 to 1990. It was huge, like it was massive, but it burnt out quite quickly. And it felt that way mainstream wise. But I don't know why. Like, it's funny. I go to obviously a lot of toy fairs. I don't see a lot of it. There's normally like one stall who will have some Micro Machine stuff, and I always kind of gravitate towards that guy and who's selling them and chat to him and stuff like that and go, "Where'd you get all these? You don't see many Micro Machines about." And yeah, it's just a funny line, and it's so vast because the difference with me and Jesse is we collect totally different ends of the scale. Yeah. It might as well be a different line for what me and Jesse collect, and that's the weird thing about it. So you can collect like the modern stuff, you could collect the stuff that Jesse does that's like mid to late 90s, or you can do what I do and just collect the early stuff. So it's got a lot of range.
Wow. Cap says right here, I found my Star Wars in Star Trek Micro Machines collection today when I was going through some boxes. So excited. Is that how you feel, Jesse? What was your, how did you get into this thing? And was it something like a family member bought you at Christmas and it just stuck with you, or?
I mean, my family did a lot of road trips when I was young. In California, we would go to Yosemite. We would go all the different mountain ranges, the coast. So driving culture was very big in our family, and it's always been big in a lot of American families. And we're very, just like the Brits, we're very car-centric culture. And
that's true. Yeah,
we love cars. But as a kid, you get taken out, you see all these cool vehicles on the road, and then your parents show you this stuff on the shelves. I do think Galoob struggled a lot. Because it didn't have a lot of other lines to compete with some of the bigger toy makers, and it was very small, like tiny compared to Hasbro and Mattel, who were just gobbling up all the competition late 80s, especially once Hasbro got a hold of Kenner. It was just Galoob was buried, and so they didn't have a strong advertising presence. But people were buying this because it's Americana in a small box. You could imagine just going on road trips inside your bedroom, and you can hook them all up and have these giant play sets to have fun with. And they were cheap. So a good example, in 1997, when Star Wars re-released in theaters in the US in January, February, and March, I came out of Empire as a kid, and my parents had gone across the street to a store to do some shopping, and when they came back, they brought me a Star Wars Micro Machine based on the Battle of Hoth. And despite all the Hasbro stuff, there's this Micro Machine stuff that's a little bit cheaper than those bigger vehicles and play sets and figures. And they're like, oh, he likes this small stuff, we'll just get him this, which Hasbro hated sharing that Star Wars license. Star Wars saved Galoob from being gobbled up early on because they got the license in 92 when Hasbro inadvertently lost the license, and it became about 25 to 30% of their income, essentially their profit, throughout the 90s. Unfortunately, there was a big dip in 97. They had to renew the license in 97, knowing that the Phantom Menace was coming out in 99. But Star Wars was starting to dip in the mid-90s. There was no other product that Galoob had. They were just hemorrhaging money on other properties that weren't selling. And when they renewed the license, it cost them $400,000 that they had to borrow. And essentially in 98, the game was over. They couldn't stay in business, and Hasbro just aggressively bought them up and basically told their designers, one who confirmed this with me, now that we own you here in 1998 and Phantom Menace is coming out next year, all this stuff is canceled. You are just making Micro Machines for Star Wars.
Wow.
And we won't even, in our catalogs, all the Star Wars stuff is combined together under the Hasbro name. It won't show up under the Galoob name. So the Galoob catalog for 99 doesn't have any Star Wars in it. Because
that's probably where I get mixed up then, because I've seen it for Hasbro, I've seen it for Galoob, and then Adam just did a recent toy collection on his, and I saw it on his. There was another one you said that said something like Rainbow on it or something. Is that right?
Rainbow Toys was a distributor in Europe.
Right. Okay. To where though? Where was Rainbow Toys from? Is it English Rainbow?
So actually,
okay, Jesse.
You can actually see the differences here in the American version from Galoob and then Rainbow Toys. Same thing essentially, but just some different packaging.
Wow.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Rainbow Toys. Is it something you both look? Is it easy to get hold of now then? Because you know, when you go to these, is this what you're specifically looking for when you're going out and so forth? It's like, right, it's micro machines I want. And is it condition? Or it's like sometimes we'll go out and we'll find like I don't know, a beta Star Wars or whatever. Oh, we'll just get that. Do you do the same thing? Are you specifically looking for the way it looks behind you both now, all nice and complete?
I would say I have an easier time than Adam because I'm very picky. It's just whatever makes me smile. Mm-hmm. Adam has like a complete and beautiful Travel City playset or collection. But I imagine as he starts to get down to fewer and fewer of them, the costs are going to go up for the ones that he really wants because he's trying, you know, his collection is a little more complete than mine, which is just anywhere from like 1990 to 1999. It's just all over the place.
I find it very,
and I can go as cheap as I want.
Sorry.
I'll just say this, Adam. He said I purchased loads of micro machines in the late 90s, but they're all for my nephew. He loved the military micro machine. But it was a thing, wasn't it, Adam? Because I've seen things like Polly Pockets, Mighty Max, obviously micro machines. So it did go through a phase, and these all more or less came out at the same time. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, they would have, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
so
Adam,
like,
for you.
Competing with Galoob at the time. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's all right. Don't worry about that.
Because in the early 90s, in addition to Galoob, Kenner had their Microverse line, which had the DC license and sports. Trendmasters had Tarzan micro playsets, as well as Godzilla, which I had a couple of those Godzilla playsets. Bluebird had Mighty Max and Polly Pocket, which I think I read somewhere. Polly Pocket, I think it was like 9 out of 10 girls in the UK in 1 year had a Polly Pocket playset.
Wow.
Before Mattel bought them up and shut down the UK production. Playmates had Turtles micros. It was just, I could probably name about 10 or 12 or so different lines from different companies. So it was very big in the 90s.
And did you two ever get into those other lines then, or was it just specifically micro machines?
For me, it was just micro machines, really. Like going back to the tagline, to me, like if it doesn't say micro machines, it's not the real thing. Like I tended to stick to that. Like,
so that worked for you then. That was the one.
100%. Because everything else just seemed a bit like, well, it was knockoff. Like, and the thing was, once they saw the success of micro machines, they did kind of like Tiny Tufts was another line which kind of tried to bring them out, and there was a lot of knockoff stuff going around. But for me, it was always, and one of the things we haven't touched on just yet, I'm sure we'll get to, is the packaging is so beautiful in my eyes. Like the colors and the packaging is just like I've got a lot of nostalgia kind of links to it. Like, for example, when I was younger, once a month, my parents, we would go shopping at the local Asda's. And that's where I got all my micro machines, because inadvertently they had a massive toy aisle, and micro machines would be like $2.99. And I would twist my mum's, or just moan until my mum gave in and said, well, you can have one toy and stuff like that. And I would always get micro machines. So for me, it was about getting all the sets and stuff like that. As a kid, though, they just all ended up in a big box. They weren't really cared for in that respect. They just all ended up in a big box. And unfortunately, they went the way of a lot of my childhood toys, which was, I don't know where they went. And it's one of them things. So now I do definitely, like a lot of us, you know, a lot of them things I'm buying back are trying to buy back that early stuff. But as Jesse alluded to, really difficult to get the sort of stuff I want now. I'm going down the promotional stuff, like employee only stuff that is really rare, that you can't get hold of that easy. And that sort of stuff I'm trying to get now, whether it's by seeing it in toy fairs in Europe, or getting like Jesse or VTR Dave to do me a favor and try and get it from abroad. Jesse's holding up probably. Is that one of mine?
It's the one you really want.
So it's just, it's weird. The American market, obviously, like everything, it's so big in America that there's so much micro machine stuff there. If I go onto ebay.com, I will find so much stuff that I can't get in the UK, and it drives me mad. So inadvertently, I am normally messaging someone going, can you do me a solid here?
Now, is this something that you both then, because I know you both and we'll talk about this more as we go through it. I've got stuff from overseas and so forth. Is this something you learned later? Like, oh wow, they've got other stuff in other countries, and like the Joe lads did when it came to Action Force, and they realised, oh, hang on a minute, it's a completely different thing here. How different is it? I mean, is there a lot that didn't come out in Europe and in the States and vice versa?
There is, and it's really weird. Like, so I learned it when I obviously started getting into collecting, that I realized different regions had different stuff, and sometimes a lot of the time you always want what you can't have, so better stuff. I laughed at that earlier, actually. Yeah. But no, the weird thing is I was just saying to Jesse before we came live. Jesse's managed to get me some promotional items. Now, get your head around this. There are promotional items that were only available in Europe, but you can never buy them in the UK or Europe, but you can buy them in America. So they were only available in Europe, but somehow they've all ended up in America, and they're easy to get in America when it just makes no sense. So there's a lot of that. So that's kind of like something I'm now looking. I do look for the weird stuff now.
Do they become grails then to you, Adam? Are they the ones like, I have to have it? Because the thing about it, the reason I ask about this is because first and foremost, when it comes to collecting, I think for everyone our ages, is always nostalgia.
Yeah.
And so obviously when it's something that we never had as a kid, and then it takes away from the nostalgia, but it's something that when you collect something, you think, I've got to have it because I've got mostly everything else, and I need to have that one from America and so forth. Is it important for you to get stuff that you never had as a kid as part of this line? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, 100%. Like for me, it's more not so much the stuff that, if it's common, I don't tend to want it. I'm very much someone who wants the stuff that's harder to get, that's not easily available. So, I'm very lucky that I've got a couple of friends who will help me get that stuff from America and stuff like that. And but a lot of the stuff now I do when it comes to micro machines, it's so hard to get, like at toy fairs in the UK. You just don't really see it. I have no choice but to try and get it from America. Or there was some in Holland when I went to Holland, and I managed to pick something up there. But again, Italy's a big country for Europe. Italy went mad for micro machines. So
I had a clue about it. This is fascinating, boys.
I went absolutely balmy for it. So
awesome. Rob says, I still remember the guy from the commercials that talks so fast. Yeah, I did. It's funny because I don't like to. Yeah, I don't like to go into these things like not knowing anything. So I watched a couple of things on YouTube yesterday, and that was one of the things that came up. Do you know what I mean? And how fast he talked, and so I think he was the voice of Blur. Yeah, he was exactly the same. And Toyota says, I think most of mine ended up in the Uber.
Well, but that is true. Yeah.
Was it meant to be? Right, because obviously we all have that thing now when we look at toys and stuff, Jesse, when we were kids. It's like we're surprised now how much things are and things. Was this meant to be a throwaway product? Was this meant to be just like we've got
everything in the 90s was meant to be a throwaway product?
Well, yeah, you've got a point, yeah.
There's a reason, like, it's so much cheaper if you're a vintage 90s collector, if you're talking like Kenner stuff, and it's just there's so much of it. Oil prices were so cheap in the 90s that companies could just pump out so much plastic, and you can find, like, if you're looking for Power of the Force 2, mint on card, $5, $10. It's just, there's tons of it available. What I find funny though is, like, what is expensive here versus the UK and Italy? Because there are things here that are super expensive for Adam back home, but are cheap here. But for me, there are things that are in the UK that are really cheap.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Like, I don't have it. Where is it? Oh,
me and Jess have done quite a few micro machines trading deals.
So, like, if I wanted this double take Firehouse, it would, with the box, it would cost me probably $60, $70, $80. Adam got on a bid for like $17.
What's that? About 12 quid.
Yeah, we're virtually getting given away here.
That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Adam got a mail away, the gold Corvettes.
Yeah,
and I got those on a bid for like less than $20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I saw them on Toy Overdoses video. I saw Adam's collection, and brilliant video, Adam. Loved it. Loved it. You did agree. Your collection was fantastic. And so little things like that. But do the collectors know what they've got as well? So in other words, you know, when, say, for example, it's the last 17 of Star Wars or a Tiger Force with Joe, they know what they've got. Does it come that out with people that are selling micro machines too?
If they know what it is, yes, they'll have a higher price. I go often onto Macari, or I'll look under very generic wording on eBay for people who are just putting toys up versus people who know if the word Galoob is in the name, they know too much and they're going to charge a higher price.
Right. Okay. Well, that makes sense.
I think as well, like, I would just like to clarify that I am no way an expert, like, in the respect there is so much knowledge to micro machines. I'm part of a micro machines group on Facebook. And the guys in there, some of the guys in there speak, and I'm just like, "What are you talking about? Never knew none of this." Like,
I do that with the Road 2 for I go with the Masters forwards, and sometimes and I'm going, "Oh, right, yeah."
It blows my mind, and I know quite a lot about the early couple of years, like 1987 to 1990.
Yeah,
I feel like I know good knowledge on it, but you know, some of the stuff that was made in the 90s, weirdly, is the most expensive stuff as well, because it was kind of, the line was dying out. And until they got that Star Wars license, it was dying out. So, you know, people weren't buying it, weren't collecting it. But there's a lot of, the good thing about micro machines is a lot of them were hand painted. So there's all, there is all difference in variants. Like, you can buy two Lamborghinis, red Lamborghinis, and one will have this, the wing mirrors painted, the other one won't. That's a stupid example, but it might be something like that.
No, I know what you mean. All Castle Grayskulls were sprayed at the front, so they're all different. Every vintage Castle Grayskull's all different, so that makes perfect sense. Kieran says here, I understand the European double pack Euro cars and the secret at Waswell sets are rare and expensive and hard to find. Do you agree with that?
Some of them are, there's stuff. I wouldn't say they're the most expensive. There is stuff. I've seen micro machines, like one little micro machine car go for nearly £1,000.
Yeah,
like, you know,
for a micro machine.
Yeah, which would be like a prototype, something that is just, you know, they only made two of them, just like Star Wars stuff, really.
Yeah.
There's also, they brought a set out in the mid 90s, which was or early to mid 90s, which was they were three cars. There was a touring bus, a truck, and a car, and they'd be painted in rock band colours. So there was the Motley Crue one. I think there was an Aerosmith or Alice Cooper. Can't remember.
I put them on my Instagram like a month ago, but I think there were like 6 different bands represented.
All of them are super expensive. Like, if you find any micro machines with Motley Crue painted on them, just pick them up, because they're more likely going to be stupid money, like, otherwise, and someone doesn't realise. So, and because they're so tiny, when you go to these toy fairs, if anybody's got a crate full of them, you'll be there all day, because there's so many of them. It takes so long to go through. And stuff like that. So
I find it all fascinating. All the lads are, you know, in here asking me. Jonathan says micro machines are big in Italy, as they used to hold up the leading.
They are definitely big in Italy, because like I've been able to find, like, these are expensive in the US, but they were pennies from Italy, and they're like the freshest card backs I've seen.
Yeah.
And there's just tons of them.
Wow.
Because they're not. For some reason, the Italians, like other toys that I have, they don't open their stuff.
No.
Or
that's the same as Masters as well. People seem to forget. They say Germany, but Italy's also big for Masters Universe. And there's a couple of things like the Giants and things like that didn't come out anywhere else except for there. And I know they're big on robots too. I remember watching Leicester Vintage saying that the Italian, but I never knew they were big on micro machines either.
Yeah,
so that's fascinating to me. Listen, chat as well. Remember, this is an interactive thing. If any of you have any questions that you want to ask Jesse and Adam, feel free. All your questions will be answered. How did you two get to know each other through micro machines then? How did it? Because I know that you're sending each other stuff and things you find. So how did that come to be?
Like, that came through yourself, really, because obviously I didn't know Jesse collected micro machines until I watched him on one of your streams, and then straight away I messaged him and said, "Oh my God, a brother!" Like, I've got another
that
person.
makes sense, yeah. You see, now that's a good point you just made there, because apart from you both, I know Mike used to do the City Micro Machine City, and he wanted to collect all them and so forth. And then I think we had Jesse on, and I think it was Tub Thumpers you were showing them, Jesse. We were like, wow, man, you know, I never knew that there was, I mean, apart from Mike having just the City sets, I never knew there was collectors of Micro Machines. So that's what I like about streaming and our group that lads we've got, because all it takes is somebody to go, oh, look at that, and then you start to talk and have things in common and so forth. Yeah,
it's quite funny. Sorry, Jesse.
No, that's fine. No,
I was just
go ahead.
Professional boys on Shabby, you know.
Right.
I mean? No, go on.
I'll quickly say no. It's quite funny because basically when me and Jesse started speaking, we were obviously comparing. Well, I said, "Oh, what do you collect?" Because Jesse would we'd send me a picture and I'd be like, I don't even know what that is. And then so I was like, well, what's that? Because I collect this one. And we realized quite quickly that we were we might as well be a different toy line in that respect, because it is so vast. That's what
this is why I'm all for stuff like this, because I collect what I collect, but I've always been a lover of toys and toy lines and the history behind toys. So doing stuff like this for me, I find fascinating. Do you know what I mean? Because I like, one of the nicest things is you can see it on the video you did with Lewis. It's your passion for it, lads. It's like when you want Tub Thumpers with VTR, it's your passion for this line. And I think that's what makes people even more excited. Ricardo said he went to a big antique mall in Austin. There was a guy that's selling a bunch of Micro Machines. I listened to him and a customer talking about it, and it was there you go, exactly, Ricardo, exactly what I've just said. It's a fascinating conversation. Sai says, has Micro Machines ever done anything, Batman or DC?
Kenner did.
Ertl did something, but it weren't really Micro Machines, was it?
Well, if it doesn't say Micro Machines, not the real thing.
So Kenner was doing a lot of stuff for the animated Batman and Superman series, as well as the not Batman Returns. What's the one?
They done Spider-Man, didn't they? They done Spider-Man packs.
Oh yeah. They've done a bunch of that. What was the movie with the Riddler and Two-Face?
Batman Forever, is it?
Forever. They did a lot. Kenner did a lot of micro play sets for that one as well.
Right. But under Kenner, even though it was Galoo when Kenner had bought it. Is that what you mean?
So Kenner in this was like 92, 93. So these were, Kenner was owned by Hasbro. Galoo was still a separate company. Yeah. So Kenner had the DC license for micro-sized toys.
Yeah.
And Galoo had Micro Machines and the Star Wars license for micro, but not for action figures, because that was with Hasbro.
Right. So really, they made money on it, because the Galoo, when they had Micro Machines, it was all their own product. They weren't doing any licenses. Yeah. It was all right.
And there's no royalties for, like, I forget what year these came out. These are packs of just every car they made, and you don't pay royalties on them.
Wow.
I could show you, like, there is a set that Ertl made, which is often confused for Micro Machines. That's right. It is. I've got a picture of it on my screen at the moment, but that has got the Joker van, the Batwing, and the 1989 Batmobile, and it is a really cool set, and you can pick it up quite cheap. But it isn't Micro Machines. But people would look at it and go, "Oh, if they didn't have the packaging, they would think it was Micro Machines."
Right, got you.
If you look close enough, like I said, if it doesn't have Micro Machines written on it, it's not Micro Machines. So,
now, another thing too, Jesse, you just said it when you pulled out those sheets and so forth. Is it just the actual product itself, or are you looking for also the merchandise, so like a T-shirt or card backs or anything else, flask or whatever, or is it do you simply just stick with the actual toy?
When it comes to Micro Machines, it's pretty much the toy. I do collect Galoob related products from the company, so I have like mailing envelopes and correspondence with advertising companies. So I have a lot of Galoob product, but in terms of the toy related stuff, it's just the toys. I don't have like branded material.
Got you.
There is a lot of weird branded material for Micro Machines, because one of their subsidiaries is Toy Boys. I forget when they acquired them. It was early 90s. And they were the subsidiary who was taking the name and slapping it on weird stuff, like those little plastic propellers that you spin and they go in the air, or little bubble guns. Yeah. It was the Toy Boys who were like, let's, we're going to help take the name and just slap it on silly stuff for $2 at the front register when you walk out of the store, that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of merchandise, but there was no, unlike He-Man or Star Wars and stuff, there was no television show. There was no comic book.
So they never made a cartoon of Micro Machines or anything like that? No.
So it's
that's an odd sell in the 80s, isn't it?
Get from grandparents or parents once a year, but it wasn't always on the mind of kids because there's just nothing to be in their face all the time through advertisement.
David asks, what's the coolest car they've made in Micro Machines?
So I've actually got something here, which I know 2 people in the chat will actually love, but I've not got it. I've actually got a picture of it because it's rare. It is rare. But I think this has got to be up there as the coolest. So I want to call this the A-Team van. So that is quite hard to find. I've been trying to find one for ages.
So you just answered the question right there. Is that the Batmobile?
That's a Batmobile next to it, yeah.
It is. No, it's meant to be, but it's not detailed. It's
the same as the 18 van. It's not classed as the 18 van, is it? Yeah, that's what it was based off. Yeah. Wow, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah. This to me is like I'd love to get an 18 van, but they're really hard to get. I think I've seen one for sale in about 5 years, and I missed out on it because I think it goes for about.
Hey, go to
decent money. Like it's more than I would want to spend on a tiny micro.
Well, give me a ballpark there, Adam. How much would you be willing to pay for one? And if someone gave you a price, you'd go, yeah, that's fair for that.
So difficult. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to say. That's the only thing.
because in a week I'd be like, hey Adam, I found it. What did you say the price was?
They'll all be at toy fair. We go, Adam's
or have no bargaining power then.
Oh, that's brilliant. Gorgie John says Micro Machines pair well with Godzilla toys. And Toy Overdose goes, this an 18. There is.
Oh, Galoob went hard on franchises, and I have a lot of examples here, but like Star Trek, Star Wars, Spider-Man, Indiana Jones, 007, Terminator. And then some that didn't get released, they did a line for the Tick, the cartoon show.
Right.
It's in the catalog, but I had never seen the toys. So they went everywhere with franchising.
Yeah, no, franchise is a big thing. Like now, the Predator and Alien stuff, like the transforming heads, big money. You're like for a T1000 transforming head, you're looking 3 figures easily. Like they're quite hard to get. Like,
so they did do, and I know because I sent you a picture of this, Adam, months ago. They did a 007 one, and I loved that. Oh, there you go. He's brilliant. You've got it. And I thought this was
is a temporary setup. I'm not. I just moved like a couple weeks ago, so I'm still setting up. So this was all in the last hour. I just was like, I should have stuff behind me.
It's not a bad job in an hour.
Yeah. See, I because I messaged you. I saw it on Facebook, Adam, and I said to you, "Is this worth the money?"
Now with these sets, now you notice these big sets have all of them, but what they did originally was they would sell them like this, where they were smaller packs. And then after they were done, they would sell the big pack with an exclusive figure. So like this one had, I think that's Connery. So if you got this pack, you got that figure. Same with Indiana Jones.
They're quite hot. Indiana Jones sets really, that's quite pricey here in the UK, that Indiana Jones set.
Now, were these global though, boys? You could get these in either country.
As far as I'm aware, well, you could get them in UK, but there's probably some that were region specific. I just don't know off the top of my head. But I've seen most of them here. Obviously, Power Rangers, that's cool.
So they did. Sorry, that's funny because I was saying before about the franchise, but so they did move on and do Star Trek to 007. Wow, and everything in between.
Something that's really confusing is when they get to the mid 90s, because the other toy line I collect is Action Fleet scale.
Yeah.
Which is that would be a whole separate live stream to talk about that. But they mix Micro Machine with the Action Fleet stuff. So you'd have like small packs of like 1-inch figures, but the Micro Machine vehicles.
It
So
is a
even
good
if you
look,
think
though.
you collected all Micro Machines, you still have
You
to go
didn't.
to the Action Fleet to go get more Micro Machines.
Well, it's funny, says that because they're doing it now. That Galaxy thing, I bought a couple of them. They're on my fireplace there. The Millennium Falcon and the Imperial Shuttle. So it's still a thing. This in it, you know, the little figures with the little vehicles and so
and that's
forth.
all Action Fleet scale.
Yeah.
But in the mid 90s, they were mixing Micro Machines with Action Fleet scale in different packages, which was really confusing because they weren't lining up size wise. But as a kid, I didn't care.
VTR asks a great question here, and this I'm glad he asked this because I was thinking of this. When they do the standard cars and so forth, are they everyday cars or are they cars have made up like what Hot Wheels do?
No, these were everyday cars. That was the thing about Micro Machines is they were, and that's why I liked them. I think because Hot Wheels are concept cars, really. Matchbox were everyday cars as well, but that was, and actually we haven't. I don't think we'll get onto it, but the modern stuff has lost a lot of the licenses to do the everyday cars. So a lot of the modern Micro Machine stuff are concept cars now, and they just that's why they're rubbish, really. But like in my opinion, but like you know, so.
Scott says the only Micro Machines he had were the Star Trek starships, a fairly inexpensive way to get some decent starship models. Still got my Enterprise on the windowsill. Vintage source models. I know. I saw it months ago and on Facebook over here. So I sent it to Adam straight away, and because I didn't, like I said, with me having no knowledge, I was like, "Is this good or is this?" And Adam was like, "Yeah, it's all right. Price is a bit high for what it is." And I thought, "Wow!" But I thought it was, and it was the exact one. It was the big set, and
I shouldn't really say this because it spoils any surprise if I get it down the line. But because now I know VTR loves his Bond. I always look out if I can get a cheap Bond Micro Machine set.
Send it straight to our Dave.
It's going today, but I never really find him. That's the problem. So you know,
I'm loving this. I'm getting dead excited. This is awesome. Out of curiosity, Q says, he just looked on eBay for the 18 van, so you don't have to say it goes for 350 to 400. Yeah. Wow, for a Micro Machine.
I've seen them go for a good couple £100 in the UK. Yeah, so that's why I won't pay it for it.
And yet, somewhere in a second-hand store in the American Midwest, it's selling for $4.
Right. And Si says you can get a 5-foot doll for that. Q. Exactly. See all that money, Si. So Overdose says Bond Davies now a Micro. I'm surprised that Steve got some. I'm surprised because it being in the 80s. So we've just found out, as you know, when we pulled up this, that it was founded in 87, which is I thought, boys, late 70s, early 80s. Me, when I saw 87, I was shocked by that.
A lot of people think 90s, but I'm
90s,
I'm an 87 / I'm mainly an 87 collector. Like I don't really like to go into the 90s for Micro Machines, but if there's the right kind of thing, like I'd love an alien transforming head or something like that. I would push the envelope for that. But really, for me, I am 80, 87, 88. That's all I really collect. So, or 89. So
to answer Des, yes, they are Micro Machines. Any of the Micro Machine, anything that's micro in the 90s, Star Wars is Galoob's right to make. And those books that look like books, but they hold the Micro Machines, those are Galoob product.
The name's Dave, VTR Dave. Yeah, they will prefer the big action figure. You're right. Ricardo, I got the 18 van for $8. You know where it's completely wrapped in hard plastic. BA's 1983 GMC Vandora van. Wow. That's a great pickup for Gap. What's the thing you've asked each other for that you can't find? So, you've phoned up Adam and you've said, right, can you find this? What's your biggest thing and yours, Adam?
There were two things that Adam got for me. One is it's called a double take. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
But this is the Firehouse, or
this is cool.
Firehouse playset. So it's a firehouse.
That's awesome. Yeah.
You open the doors, you can put your vehicles inside. But if you pull this lever, it has a spring, so I want to be careful.
This is outrageous.
It turns into a full emergency fire playset.
That looks like the place you had your first toy fair, Adam. Doesn't it? Yeah.
It weren't on fire though, thankfully.
But again, I would be paying, and this is an immaculate condition, I would be paying $60, $70, and I got it for $17.
Wow. Why do you think that is? Why do you think there's such a massive difference in price for both countries?
Sometimes it's random. I don't know.
I don't know if it's the fact that people don't really know the value either, or it's, because there's probably, I don't really know actually, but I do tend to think that the collectors would know the value, but maybe people just don't. There's a lot of cheap Micro Machine stuff, so I think people just think it's all cheap. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that exactly.
And I think that's why.
Yeah, and Adam and I know of one seller who did not know what he had or what he was selling because he didn't even send the right thing to Adam at first.
That was hilarious. Tell Shabby the story and everybody the story about this. It's brilliant.
I wanted the this is my favorite military playset, Barracuda Bay. I've always wanted it as a kid, never had it, and it's the coolest playset. But if you want it with the box, you're going to be paying $70, $80. But there was one in the UK for, I think Adam got it for like $10.
Yeah, it's nothing.
With the box.
Wow, such a difference. Such a different price.
But there's a bunch of these military playsets that the boxes look very similar.
Right.
And Adam gets it, and he's like, oh, I don't know if I'll even look in what's inside the box to see if it's correct. I'll just send it your way. And he sends me a picture. I'm like, that's not it. And Adam reaches out to the guy, and he's like, oh, sorry, I sent you the wrong one. Here, I'll send you the right one, and you just keep the other. So I got both.
He just went, keep it, both of them. I was like, what?
Oh, have it.
I'm looking at $100, $140, $150 that I got for like $27.
That's awesome, crazy. Man. But the price, that's so weird. But I did tell you that story once. Jen, as you know, as my wife has her own cleaning business, and sometimes she has to do hoarding houses where she goes in, clears up everything. And there was one time the people said they've died, they not live here, so whatever you see in here, just take. And she found me loads of old 80s baseball caps and a McFarlane Elvis statue that was never opened. But she also found me this massive tub of it was the Star Wars ones, Jar Jar Binks' head, it was the Endor playset, it was this, it was that, it was the Star Wars one. And I don't collect it, I didn't know how much it was. And there was tons of it. And I put it all in a box, just stuck it on Facebook Marketplace and put $20 on it. By the time I'd pressed send, I'd already sold it, right? This guy come around and bought the lot. But this guy, when he came around and he left, I thought, have I sold this pretty cheap here? Do you know what I mean? Because it goes back to what you were saying. It's funny how I would think things like this, there's not many collectors of it and there's not many of this, but it's sold within seconds.
There are times where I am that impulse buyer where I see the person, as you just described, who puts it up super cheap, and I'm like, that can't be real. And then I grab it real quick because I'm like, this was a mistake that somebody made because they didn't do the research before they threw it up. So
yeah, Shabby. That's definitely
it was Shabby.
I remember what it was.
So I just had all these stuff, and I just thought, I don't, if I keep hold of it, it's just going to be in a box somewhere, and I don't know anything about it. I remember there being little speeder bikes and X-wings and all sorts in it. So
I will say this: like 90 to 95% of the toys we all collect, 90 to 95% of it's rubbish. Like, as in, I'm not. It is like cheap, not worth anything. And I'm being honest there. And this is the thing. But there is some bits that are worth a lot of money. I'm talking about in monetary terms. There is obviously a lot of it is worth more to us than money. But I'm just saying, 90%. I don't want everybody to go out and buy loads of Micro Machines now and go, it's worth loads of money. It's really not.
VTL's already off looking. But so that was Jesse's similitude. So what have you asked Jesse to find for you?
Okay, so I'll show the mail away stuff actually, because that was actually Jesse. These weren't just sent to me. Jesse actually gifted me these, so these are really cool.
VTL says, how did he not know about that Bond set? Vehicles and I didn't know about it. Like I said, I saw it on Facebook, and I immediately reached out to Adam Dave and said, what is this? Do you know what I mean? I'd never knew.
He's got to get the big one and the small sets.
Yeah, he's got to get them. I tell you what, when we're at Sandown next Saturday, we're going to be looking. I'll be with VTR Dave, and he'll be looking for Bond Micro Machines now.
You watch, you'll find that 18 van just to piss you off.
I would love that. But no, in terms of a lot of stuff at the moment, I'm not. It sounds really bad. I've actually got a lot of stuff coming to me from not just Jesse, but from VTR actually, which is Micro Machines related. So. But so there's some stuff that Jesse can show, which is mine, which is coming over here at some point. But I'll show you quickly what Jesse did send to me the last time we sent some bits and bobs over, and that was So they done gold mail away micro machines, where they literally you collected a load of points or whatever or cups. I can't remember what the exact details were off the cards, and you sent away and you got sent a set of 5 gold cars.
Were they Corvettes?
Yeah, there's a set that's Corvettes, and there's a set that's a European set, which is based on an original set they brought out, and they just painted them gold. I've got the European set. It's still fairly expensive. I think you'll probably pay sort of £60-70 for that set in the UK. But the Corvette set, if I remember rightly, was only available in America. So it's just all Corvettes, all like tiny little cars. So they're all in baggies. I'm not going to open them for obvious reasons. So they all came like that. And they're all different Corvettes from different years. God, that's got to be double jointed to do that. And yeah, Jesse, I said to Jesse that I hadn't got that set, and there's only 2 gold mail away sets, and he found got it for a crazy price on American eBay, and very graciously and kindly gifted it to me. But what you also get is you get the little letter and a little shipper box.
Oh, now, so they did it like Star Wars did, put it in the mail away boxes and gave okay.
And I love looking at the addresses on these because obviously someone's crossed it out, but this one came from Portland, Oregon, is that? OR? After yes, Portland, Oregon. Mm-hmm. And my other one, where did that come from? It looks like they've taken the address off, but that was an English one because that was European set. So
does it go the other way for you then? So here's a question for you. Whereas Jesse sat there and gone, "Oh, I've got this for this cheap." Are you paying more money for these then? Because obviously in America, for more, so you're paying more.
If Jesse hadn't been so kind to gift it to me, it was still about 3 times cheaper what he paid for them than what I could get in the UK.
And well, to be fair, I got a stupid deal for it. Never have your bid end at like noon on a Sunday in the summer.
Don't tell people the tricks. Like, what are you doing?
But it's just like it was new. I had won an auction for something else, and I saw that, and I was like, that ends in like 20 minutes.
Right.
And everyone is outside. It's Sunday. It's a beautiful day. And I hate the heat. I'm a badger. I live in my den and I go out in the evening. But it's like no one bid against me. So I got it for pennies for people would pay like $70 to $100 for that. And I got it for like less than 20. And I was like, well, crazy. I got it cheap. Adam wants this. I'll just throw it in the box for the rest of his stuff.
Told you, I'm saying, Micro Machines was popular almost every other. So that was my next one then. So Micro Machines were the first to do it, and everyone else jumped on that bandwagon. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Masters,
ABOE,
Kenner, so many different lines.
I can
show you my favorite. I just don't have it with me at the moment.
No problem. I've got some pictures to show, so I'm going to show them. I'm going to start with Jesse. Let's just get the pictures up and running. Right here.
Outside of Micro Machines, like I was never a big Mighty Max person, but I love the Godzilla head play sets from Trendmasters. I think 94, you just open up Godzilla's little angry mouth and it'd just be a whole city for him to destroy.
I could just let's have a look. And gone right here. So Jesse, if you want to talk through these for us, and then we'll do Adam's as well. So this is the first one. So,
and I don't. Again, I'm a very picky collector. It's just the things that are of interest to me. As a kid, I did have a small number of the play sets. You don't need to blow me up on this, but this Hoth play set I loved as a kid.
Yeah.
Some of them just have too much stuff in the middle where it's a little hard for you to get your hands in and play. But I appreciate that this one had a big open surface so you could have the battles with the AT-ATs versus the base defenses and the snow speeder.
Yeah, it's this one right here, and it's one on the bottom left of the picture. Yeah.
I also had that Luke pilot head. That was the toy that my parents gave me when I came out of the theater from Empire. I really liked the Battle of Hoth. It was just really cool. But the hardest one to get is the Rebel Transport.
That's super cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
And
that's an expensive one.
Especially getting the box. This is one where you have to be very patient and wait months and months and months until somebody puts it up less than $70, $80. And I think I got it for like, this was the bid. This was what I got moments before I got the gold Corvettes. And I got it for like $35 because no one was bidding against me on a Sunday afternoon.
Gab says, is Trendmasters still around? What's Trendmasters, boys?
Yeah. Goji would know that. I don't know if they're still around, but they were a toy company that did Godzilla. They did Tarzan, a bunch of different toy lines.
Oh, this is a cool picture here with all these shells right here. This is awesome.
And this is where my selectiveness shows itself, because there's a little bit of Highways and Byways, which were a big series of play sets for me.
I remember you were saying that with VTR and us on Tub Thumpers, where you said it was the military and the cars and stuff that you like, you know, the gas stations.
It's fun to watch the escalation of. So, for example, I have here little fish and chip shop, Travel City play sets. So this is what Adam has a whole collection of. And then it expands to, back in that picture, it expands to those bigger, flatter, gray streets in the middle shelf. So the little pocket playset expands to those. But you'll notice there's still just plastic buildings on a flat surface. And then as the 90s progress, you get the more detailed Highways and Byways with like the whole mountain ranges and city landscapes and everything.
Brilliant. There you go. Goldjatron said Trendmasters went out of business in the early 2000s. So was Trendmasters this kind of thing, Adam and Jesse? Michael,
I don't know nothing about it.
No, I don't.
They did a lot of action figures, but they did dip their toes into a lot of micro scale toy lines.
So this one right here. So this goes up the shelves a little bit more. Explain the top shelf on this one, Jesse.
So those are the military ones. So like Barracuda Bay fits in with that line. Very mid to late mid 90s, so like 94, 96 kind of era. And they're all just the military line, which there's a lot of.
Yeah.
And you'll
said something. So you both do the same thing, because you said something on Lewis's video, Adam, that you have it loose as well as boxed as well. So do you both go out and look for that? So you'll say, there it is loose, but I've got it boxed. But so you will buy it if you find it loose.
I don't care if it's like, some of those military ones are cool.
Jason?
And so I'll be happy to buy it cheap without a box. There's certain ones like Barracuda Bay, I have to have the box because it's my favorite one. So I'm just sort of selected. The box is there if it's one that I really, really like. If not, I'll pay a cheaper price for it.
See, it's not just Star Wars that does that, because you hear about the vintage lads and they always get the boxes for the Falcon and this, but I do it for Masters. Do you know what I mean? I love the box. And then obviously Michael, the boxes in the 80s, 90s, they were a big deal, weren't they? The artwork and the way they looked. So
they're
that
so
makes
good.
sense to me. Yeah. Wow, that's awesome, man. Let's go to the next one here. Now, this is what I meant before about the merchandise and stuff like that. So can you explain what this is?
This is all
super
Galoob.
Jealous of these. Super.
Oh, yeah.
So these are Galoob catalogs. And there's different kinds. So I'll just grab an example.
Right. Okay, Darren.
It's an older one. So like, this is 1990. And it's just all the toys from that time. Micro Machines, monster trucks. Oh, geez. I think I just saw what Adam was referring to earlier. Oh, yeah. Oh, now I lost it. Unifighters. But yeah, I collect Galoob catalogs, and so far I have almost every one from 79 to 1999, except for like 2.
What?
But then they switched from catalogs in the 90s to these booklets. I don't think I have one with me. But essentially, they're just these folders that have like inserts of the toy lines instead of these big, thick books. And then there is random merchandise material, communications with their advertiser in New York, mailers, because they were based in San Francisco. Yeah. So just anything Galoob I was picking up because I love the history of that company.
Fantastic. Absolutely. And are these easy to get hold of, or are these hard to get hold of?
They're easy to find, but there's a lot of people who, because Micro Machines does have a somewhat dedicated fan base, but also the Action Fleet has a big fan base. that
Yeah.
people have been picking them up, so they're not super cheap.
So what are these ones here? Let me just make that picture
Those
bigger
are
a bit.
Captain Crunch micro machines.
No way.
They're quite late though, aren't they? Are you quite late? Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
don't think
these came in the cereal then, did they?
1995.
Right.
I don't believe. I think you had to mail in for these, right?
And how did you mail in for them? So like the boxes Adam was showing before, do you have, is it proof of purchase where you had to send
You
off
send out
things
the
like,
proof of purchase, and then usually you send like $2 or $3 to cover the shipping cost, and
right?
then they'll just send you a small promotional bag of just random little cars.
And this is the full complete set, is it? All 5 of them?
Yeah.
Wow. And is that a pin at the top one? Is that a pin at the top, Jesse? There?
I don't know what the pin. It is a pin. I don't know where it comes from, but Adam pointed it out.
Go on,
He's
Adam,
like-
what is it?
So there is. I've got one as well. Me and Jess actually. I told Jess about these, and I wanted one, and I've just opened mine out of my little baggie, and yeah, these are not confirmed, but they think the rumors are it was only ever given to employees. So they're pretty
That's
cool.
though. Yeah, that is cool.
But that is not confirmed. No one really seems to know or can confirm it, but that's the rumors. And I asked Jess for one, and the guy had 2, didn't he? I think so. Just like, I'm going to get one as well.
Yeah.
So I'll go do it.
Oh, but that's, you see, that's awesome though that you're both doing it and sharing it with each other. I think that's awesome, man. I think that's really cool. You know.
So these are the minis because someone at Galoob was having a really good day and thought, these micro machines, they're kind of big. Could we do smaller? And
make them even smaller.
so here's an example.
Yeah,
if I can not drop it. So this is a micro machine. And this is a mini.
Yeah.
And they're called insiders because some of them, I don't have an example with me, but some of them have a hinge and they open up and you take the mini out.
Yeah. So they were like cards inside a card, Shabby. They're mad.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
That's tiny. You must have lost them. That looks tiny.
Well, that's why they came out with. Oops. They came out with these little holders for the minis,
Right.
which are designed to look kind of like buildings, so you can lay them out on the street if you want to pretend you're in a city. But they came out with a lot of fun little play sets for them, but they look like this. They're about the size, or at least the width.
Oh, they come on a card back.
Oh yeah.
Right. Okay.
And they have to have the reflective back. The reflective.
Right, let me just make it a little bit bigger
see
for
the
this.
car.
Yeah. No
This is
way. Look
tiny.
at that. They must have been. There's no way anyone kept that. They must have been lost. Must have
So
been.
this is designed to be about the standard size of something that would go in your wallet, like a driver's license or a credit card. And then you just fold it down, flip it out, fold up your Mesa, your Monument Valley. You got a little cactus here, and a rock. And then, where'd it go? There it is. That's why you got to keep it in a bag. And then you can put your mini on it.
No way. I never ever knew that. I never knew.
And
these
if you collect
smaller ones.
if you collect Jack specific Pokemon, just little 2-inch Pokemon, they're, as Gojitron mentioned earlier, they make great dinosaurs for like display.
And how many of these did they do? They did a military ID card, travel club, charge card,
5.
Chevron National.
Some of them are the same thing, just like Chevron and ExxonMobil. They get swapped out.
No way. I never knew that. That's amazing. Wow, look at that.
Oh, there it is. I was missing one. So these are knockoffs. These are not Galoob.
Oh, it's not the real thing, Adam. It's not the real thing. It
Not
doesn't
the
say on
real
this.
thing.
But some of them, like I forgot the company's name. But the one that the Exxon petrol can, that one had a license with Exxon, so they were able to make the play set. And then that one in the middle does a ton of these play sets. They're all identical. They all have the same plastic. It's just what stickers did they put on the top.
I will say, boys, it's a very creative line, isn't it? Really, I mean, like I say, gas bottle. I mean, you showed some that were in a spray cans or whatever, Adam, that opened up, and they're very creative, all of it. You know, something that you have to purchase over a few months and send off to prove to receive an exclusive piece. So there you go. Let's have a look at the next one. Oh, that's cool.
So that's the biggest piece of the military playsets. That is the Abrams tank, and it's big enough for where it could be a tank for your GI Joes.
Brilliant. And it opens up like that. Look at that.
It's a full playset. One half is a dock with a ship. The other half is like a base with a missile silo, and then the turret pops off to be a command center. And then
so back in the day, how much is Mum's paying for that, Jesse?
Oh, that was, I don't know what the price was back in the day, but it's a Christmas present is what it is.
Right. So it gives you that. Right. That makes sense.
But
okay.
If you imagine, I have this in the back of the picture for scale. And this is, what fits in my hand. And that thing is like several times larger.
Oh, so it's a big, big piece then.
The play value, though, is always, I think, what's the most impressive stuff about Micro Machines is, and like even with the headsets, like the Star Wars heads, for me, the play value, like when you're a kid, the imagination, you got like a whole city or layout, for very little money and in a very small scale. So in that respect, you didn't have to have a lot of space to store it.
And I can imagine playing even with Star Wars Micro Machines. That could be a Rebel base.
Yeah, it could look like Scarif, doesn't it, as well? You could do it that way.
Yeah.
National Geographic did them.
Again, Galoob was getting the license for anything. And they had a great set of toys with National Geographic. They only made 3 play sets. One is very difficult to get a hold of, so I don't have it.
Right.
But these 2 are beautiful, and I have not taken them out of the box. They are mint, and I want to play with them, but I might get some cheap ones online.
So they covered every kid then, from military to war to National Geographic to car parks to, you know what I mean, franchises. They covered everything.
It's an expansive. If you took everything Adam has and everything I have, you're still probably not halfway in terms of just their total product line.
Yeah.
For only Micro Machines, not including the Action Fleet. And then this is the double take I was showing earlier. The box is a little roughed up, but for $17, I don't care.
Can't complain with that.
This is just an example of types of playsets you might find. So again, the Travel City, which is the little one, the Highways and Byways, the Street Corners, just different scales and different price ranges.
Unbelievable.
So I was just going to say, just go on to what Jesse was saying. Now, I reckon if I took my whole Micro Machines collection, it's probably like 10, 15%, if that, of everything.
Wow, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's like I've got, like when I look at some of these people on like Facebook groups, on dedicated Micro Machines Facebook group, I don't think I've got a very impressive Micro Machines collection. Because, so I'm like a bit like, it's good, it's cool.
Are you finding stuff now? Are you seeing stuff in these people's collections that you're like, wow, I never knew they made that?
Yeah, the National Geographic I've seen before, but because Jesse sent me pictures of it, that blast off set, the one that looks like the Kennedy Space Center, is absolutely immense. Like, honestly, it's such a beautiful set. I was a massive fan of 0 Hour.
But what's 0 Hour, Adam? What's 0 Hour?
0 Hour was very similar in some respects, a bit bigger, I think, and they had little figures, and they weren't. I would say they looked a bit cheaper made. They were made by Bluebird, but great play toy line. I do like 0 Hour stuff.
Battle Zones, that looks cool as well. So these are the ones you were telling us before. So they all had their own lines, then, didn't they? You know what I mean? So everything came like Battle Zones and this and that and so forth. Wow.
Yeah, these are the military play sets. I especially like the one that features the breakable dam, which I don't have with me. You could put water in the back of it, and then when you hit the button and the dam explodes, the water pours out the front.
Yeah, very cool.
But that says, is it just me or does Micro Machines packaging remind anyone else of the mass line? actually, Luke, Adam, that's good for you because you collect both these lines.
I was just having a look. I could get out and do a comparison. Kind of. It's colourful. It is very colourful, I would say, like the mask. So yeah.
I love that it's artwork, and it's for all of this. It's someone having to sit down and do artwork for it.
Mm.
There's a Star Wars. So this was Micro Machines. So where did Mission Fleet come from then? That wasn't Micro Machines, Mission Fleet, no? Or was it?
It kind of was like it, but it was slightly different scale. It was slightly bigger, if I remember rightly.
Mission Fleet. Do you mean Action Fleet?
Action Fleet. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, lads.
Yeah, Action Fleet came about in 90. Well, it was designed in 94, started coming out in 94, 95. It was Galoob's way of saying, we'd like to do something different. We'd like to have action figures that can go in the ships. We don't own the right to make action figures, because if we get too big, Hasbro will smack us down. So it was a test of like, how big can we get to get 1-inch figure, and they settled with like these 1-inch figures with very detailed ships. And they went crazy with that. They have Starship Troopers, Terminator, Predator, Aliens, all that stuff for Action Fleet. But yeah, this was the earlier stuff that kept going. It didn't stop. And there's so much variability with these, because you have the flat play sets, like the Endor and the little Death Star on the bottom. You have the Rebel transport, which pops open to be a transport. But then you have the head play sets and the binoculars that fold out into Yavin base. The head play
that's
sets,
one in the middle,
But there's so many of them. I think the flat ones, there's 6 or 7, and then the head play sets, 7 or 8.
See, I'm not a fan of the flat ones. I only collect the head ones. Like, it's so weird. Like, again, this is where the differences come in. Like, so
I love these little flat ones.
I agree with that. It's fascinating. Look, seeing what you two have and what you've got and how different you are, but collecting the same line. It's fascinating. So these are some of the brands. So you've got Spider-Man, 007, Indiana Jones we've seen. Yeah. What's this one here at the top? Power Rangers. Wow. Power Rangers.
Spider-Man.
In the UK, sorry, the Indiana Jones one's probably the hardest one to get out of all them ones on display.
It's hard to find here too. You can find it, but you're paying $50-$60.
Now for these franchise ones, boys,
UK.
Are we going more into the 90s then? This is not 80s. Well, this is later on in the line.
This is mid 90s, like
90,
94, 95, 96.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing stuff. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Loved it. Absolutely. I find it fascinating. I've learned so much. It's weird. It's weird. Right, Adam, let's have a look at your pictures. We got some cool ones right here. And it's funny the way you've laid it out as well is completely different. So here we go.
Yeah, so I'll just say, like, for me, like I said, I probably alluded to, I collected a lot of the earlier stuff. And I did kind of move into some of the later stuff with Star Wars. But for me, mine's all like 87, 88, 89.
Why is that?
It's the strongest memories as a kid. So to me, it was just like I didn't have any memories of the 90s stuff really. So why would I collect it in my head?
That's a really good point. This is what we said at the start of this. Is it a nostalgic thing? And so to you, you've aimed your collection specifically at that. So that's impressive.
Yeah,
that looks so cool. That looks really good.
Yeah, so that sits behind me, and it sits behind me. Basically, that is the original. So these Travel City sets, I'll show you just an example of one, what they look like on the box. So these Travel City sets, you can keep it like that. These were like $2.99 at my local Asda's, and these were the sort of thing I would grab and moan to my mum and dad for when they went shopping. And there was originally 12 of these, and the idea I got of laying them out was because that's what they had on the packaging. Now, this is call me OCD though. If you look at that design, the roads go to nowhere. It doesn't make any sense. So if you go back to my picture,
right, let's just go.
You can actually drive onto the island, and you can drive all around that island in a Pacific way that you can visit everywhere without driving off the edge of it. Like, I don't know what they were thinking.
Brilliant.
I laid it out in a specific way that you could actually drive to every single place and get round it all, like kind of in a sensible way. But it's
so is
still
this the
not
complete set of these then? So how many is this? So it's 4x3, it's like 12 sets.
There's
there?
12 sets, but they did
Right.
up it to 20. So 1988, 89, they then released some more, which are just repaints. They literally were just repaints. So, and
Yeah.
I didn't bother going for the next 8. I've got the 12, and I'm more than happy with the 12. As a child, I had probably about 4 of these. I had the fish and chip shop, which is the 1 second in on the bottom right-hand corner. I had the airport, like the military airport, and stuff like that, and I had the hospital and a few other places. So yeah, they were the ones I had as a child, and then I wanted in my head, I wanted to get all 12 and put them together as a city, and obviously I didn't do that when I was 8 or 9, but I've done it when I was 40.
No, again, if you haven't watched Toyo Vidofis' video of Adam's collection, watch it, because you go through this in detail as well, because there's Easter eggs in here, and also, isn't there, like your DeLorean and
I did the DeLorean, right? This is where I've gone back on. Micron Seams didn't make a DeLorean. It was a company called Funrise. So that's the Funrise DeLorean. But I was like, I don't care. It's got to go in there. So it's sitting on the street. You can just spot it actually next to the bikes on the right-hand side. Just come back from 1950, and it's
brilliant,
just,
brilliant.
In my head, that's what I think.
So the case you've got it in, is that a custom case, or is that something?
That was a custom made case I got made about 4 years ago. I chose what size I wanted, how thick I wanted the glass, the acrylic, or is it glass? No, it's glass. I can't remember. It's glass, I think. And I done it all like that. So
the 8 that come out at a later date, do they fit onto these?
Yes, they do. They do. But obviously,
it's actually a continuation.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah,
and if you're talking about little bits of fun trivia, the suburban house that's on the bottom right.
Yep.
This one right here.
Yeah, James Fong, who was one of the main designers for Galoob, modeled that after his house. Because when you're a small company, you can take liberties like that.
Yeah.
I
think it's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Q says, well, shit, Jesse, now I know that they made a Predator alien says I'm going to have to go look for him.
That's an expensive rabbit hole, them ones, though.
Yeah, the Predator one is
expensive.
Even if I want it in America, I'm paying $300 to $500.
Whoa, really?
I think in the UK, they're about 150. So that's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, but it is. So you do that, don't you? You look into some lines and you think, "Oh, should I get one? Should I get 2?" Can I just say as well, we've had 30 to 40 people all night watching this, so thank you all so much for coming in. It's been brilliant. I've loved it. Right, next one.
Well, that's just all that is just a Vox version of them Travel Cities. So that's how they look, and then obviously you've got the mailaways in the front, which are showed. So yeah, that's just the way I displayed that kind of thing. I wanted it to look like a shop, I guess.
It does, yeah.
I love those Panini boxes you have. The French in that last picture.
Yeah, the French blind boxes. Yeah. So these, I missed my chance to get a lot more. There's 50 individual cars of these, and I've only got about 3 or 4. But you get a little. Has this one been opened? I can't remember. Some of them I've opened. I think I've opened all of them. You get like a little booklet in it, which kind of actually it's all in different language. I can't even read it because it's not in English at all. You get a set of stickers. I've never opened them because there was a sticker album. There was a Micro Machine sticker album.
Panini as well, brilliant.
And then you get a little car as well. And like I said, they're really cool. So yeah, they only ever sold them in France. And again, I've not seen them many places. You do get them at shows. I have to admit, the first time I became aware of these was actually VTR noticed them. And he went, have you seen them before? And I was like, no, what the hell are they? And I asked the guy who was selling them, and he explained to me, he thought they were from Holland, though. And I brought a couple off him, and I went home and done my research and found out they were from France. I only ever sold in France as well.
What are these right here? The ones with the, it's like, is this like a promotional? Are these
done in
waves?
I moved a couple of bits around. That's why there's a massive hole there. So we've got, I will show you all them. So we've got the Star Wars promotional item here. So this is smaller than Micro Machines, but this was a Micro Machine promotional thing. So this was to celebrate 1997, to celebrate the 20-year anniversary of Micro Machines. The first 100,000 people that attended the cinema showing in America got these.
Wow.
So they're not overly rare. There's 100,000, minimum 100,000 of them out there. You can buy these on eBay for like 15, 20 quid now if you want to. But they're a cool piece of history to know they were a cinema giveaway. So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember Kenner doing it with the episode doing the Luke Skywalker, either the brown vest or the black vest, and they gave 100,000 of them out too. So, yeah, you're right there. That is a nice piece of history.
That's kind of cool. And now I think you've got... So these are bloody hard to get, and these are annoying me. So these are the Burger King mail-aways. So there was 4 different sets of these, and I've only got one. So if anybody else sees any others that are reasonable, let me know, because there is someone selling all 4 sets on eBay for a stupid price, and I'm not willing to pay it. It's probably the right price, but I'm just tight, probably not willing to pay it. But these are quite cool. These are like Burger King mail-aways. So again, I've only seen I saw these and brought these. Yeah. And then there was a guy on, like I said, or I'm assuming it's a guy on eBay who's selling all 4 of them that they released. But yeah, he wants quite a bit for them, and I'm probably not willing to pay it. But they're cool.
Are those vehicles? Is it the pack that's exclusive or the vehicles?
No, I don't know, because that Morgan, the Morgan in it, is definitely in a set I've got. So that's not an exclusive.
Okay.
It might be a different color though. I'm pretty sure.
I'm sitting here holding one of them, and I'm like, "Is that exclusive?" I didn't know that.
But the other one I've not seen so much. It's a Jaguar, I think it's an X-Type Jag or something like that. But yeah, they're really hard to find. I think
I know McDonald's has exclusives for Micro Machines, and you take the little ships and you put them together like a transformer into a bigger ship.
Nice. But I've got something else actually. I'll show you this quickly because
show us, brilliant.
This is going away from getting on to weirdness now because I'm running out of things to buy. So a guy in America started making mask Micro Machine crossover customs.
Oh wow!
So I was like, mask and Micro Machines. Well, what can it couldn't be even better. Maybe if they'd chucked G.I. Joe on there, I would have been in heaven. But
and they're custom. Look how well he's done them.
They're amazing. He's done more of them.
Amazing, yeah.
He's done. The reason I've only brought these ones off of him is because Raven and Razorback were my favourite mask toys as a kid, and Rhino's obviously the daddy. He's like the main one. So like, yeah, they're just customs. Guy called Kevin, lives in America. Really clever guy. Makes them all. So he puts.
Keith Knight says there's a real education for me. I never knew. You know what, Keith? I 100% agree. First of all, I never knew there was so many different ways to promote this, like card backs. These kind of styles where you've got like the shiny part where they're all lined on. You got the boxes. So they went all out, didn't they, with everything? And wow, I never knew all this. Yeah.
On the pegs there are the first 11. So
these are cool.
These are the first 11 sets. So I picked up 2 here. Again, this was like you'd look on the back and you'd show you what other sets you could get. This was 1987, the first 11 sets. These are both these sets are actually quite sought after. This set I got thanks to Dave in America, and this set I got off of someone who was selling some locally. And this is really hard set to get. It's got the Lamborghini in it. European, and it's got the roller as well. Yeah. So, but these are really cool, and I've got 9 out of the 11 now, so I need 2 more, and I've completed the original 1987 line, boxed and loose. Once I've got.
So, which one are you missing, Adam?
He's missing this one.
Oh, let's have a look.
This one Jesse's waiting to send to me. What one have you got?
Which one is missing?
Yeah, so that one is, I paid for it. I'm waiting for Jesse to send that over.
Yeah, he really wants this, but then like every weekend he's like, wait, there's a mask figure. Can you get that? And then also, can you get this Concorde?
It's going to be huge by the time it ends up coming to me. But absolutely. Yeah, there's that one. And then The off-road collection. No, I've got the off-road. I can't remember. There's
Toys R Us.
Yeah, Toys R Us. So yeah, I know. I'm looking on the back of them now, and I'm trying to work out what set. I need the City Super set, and I need the off-road collection. I think they're the two that I need. Yeah, so it's the top right and then the middle left, and then I've completed all them 11 sets.
Keith's nice grounded.
Adam, do you have any of the trophies?
The trophy sets are amazing, right? They're really hard to get.
Look at this.
Yeah, the trophy sets I only want boxed. I used to love them as a kid, but they're quite hard to get boxed. I don't even see them loose that much either.
I have one. Oh, it must be in the other room. I have a cheaper one, but the gold one is.
I love it. I love the passion that you two have got for this. It's honestly, it's worth just watching. I could just shut up and just watch it. It's been brilliant. No,
it's cool.
It's so cool.
I've got this before we move on to the next photo.
Yes, sir.
This is the weird oddity, right? So this is the only one I've ever seen pop up on eBay in the UK. And I don't know, and a lot of people who are our age might remember these people, but these aren't micro machines. Like, I'm going against everything I've said, but they were such a weird oddity that I had to get them. So they're from a company called Cornhill Insurance, right? And what they done is they gave people who were part of Cornhill, like who basically subscribed to Cornhill, they gave them these box of cars to like get them to sign up. And they're not micro machines, but they enough look like them. They're really cheap and horrible, actually. But I've never ever seen these go on eBay.
How the hell did you come across these then? How did you find these?
I can't give away my secrets of my searches. But
he knows he's watching. He knows VTR's here and Desi's here. He's like, I'm not telling anybody anything.
No, the thing is, I typed in a certain search, and basically it came up. But I've never seen these. But these were given away literally to people who took out Cornhill Insurance. I looked up Cornhill; they don't exist anymore. I think they got amalgamated into another big insurance company.
Were they nationwide, Adam?
I don't know, but
Cornhill Insurance.
This is like, I think they were fleet insurance, like insurance for people who had company cars, because they say complete designs with a small fleet in mind. So, and they say, look, complete fleet and insure you and secure a protected package for all your clients' fleets. So they were like fleet insurance. It's really weird, but I'd never seen these before. So I grabbed them and I got them for silly price because the guy had them on eBay for about 3 months and I kept watching them. No one had bothered to buy them. And I was just like, so I offered him a really low ball offer and he accepted it. He just wanted to get shot, clearly. So,
this looks cool. This is really cool. I love the way you've got this set up.
So as I showed you them first 11, that is the first 11 loose. Wow. So that's all the first 11 sets loose.
Where'd you get the background from?
That's a guy from Instagram called the Backdrop Guy. And he's done all my backdrops for all my cabinets. So he's really cool.
Looks great. That looks brilliant. I've got to admit, that looks really, really cool. And really
I think the other photos were just the other shelves, weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Just some different ones. You've got deluxe in there. You've got some monster trucks. You've got some Formula One cars. You've even got, if you see the right-hand side, you've even got the presidential cars. It's like Kennedy car and stuff like that on the right-hand side. He's Lincoln Continental, I think it was. You've got some military stuff there. You just got a random... Got some deluxe. The deluxe ones were ones where the doors and the bonnets or the hood opened and stuff like that. And they were really quite cool. So, yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
And in this one, what we've got here...
Look at that Argos.
Yeah, we've got some Argos random promotional stuff in there. We've got... I think it's very Americana. The set on the left-hand side is really Americana for me. It's like three metallic... like that metalized figures, and they've got like American flag all over them. I love them. And then on the right hand side is a NASCAR. I think was it Richard Petty?
Yeah, 43
NASCAR drivers in the late 80s, early 90s. It's his set of cars. And
now Jesse's not going to get the Argos ones over there, is he? And what were the Argos ones? Were they like retail, or did you have to send off for the Argos ones?
You know what? I have no idea, but they're $2 a penny on eBay. So if Jesse wants some, he can let me know and I'll send him some.
Do you know what Argos is? Jesse, do you know what Argos is?
I've heard the name.
It's like a catalog store. You go into the store, you go through a catalog, and then you go to, and they pay it, and they go in the back and get it.
It's like the old. It's like old Sears for us, or
like
old,
Sears,
old JCPenney's.
I 100% agree. That's exactly what it was. But yeah, they did it for everybody. These are cool. These are cool.
So I've got all these, and these are brilliant. I'll pick out the ones that I think are the best. So let me just grab a couple. I've got to be quick here.
Kieran says, I'm picturing Adam walking down a dark alleyway, making deals with a man at the back of his van for micro machines.
It was a bit like that, actually. I met a guy in the car park to do a deal for micro machines, and we did joke about, and like I went to boot his car, and it was like you could imagine if the police had turned up, because it was just like, no, just micro machines, mate. Like that's all we're doing, but. I didn't know him, so I didn't really want to come to my house, and so I was just like, "I'll meet you at local park." It was
so Keith that says, "I got caught on eBay looking at these. I'm in trouble."
There's
now.
a lot of good police sets, incling there's a police set of one of these headsets. I think it's of a motorcycle, like a California highway patrolman.
Oh, so it wasn't just heads for Star Wars. They did a couple of things.
They had military ones too, and then a diver. And a deep sea diver and a policeman, and there might have been a construction worker.
So the best set, I think, this has probably got to be up there for the best set, is it's obviously the Emperor's Guard.
Royal Guard, yeah.
Royal Guard, but you've got a little Darth Vader, little I can't Emperor. What are they called? Can't even remember what they're called now.
Imperial Shuttle.
That's the one. And then you've got a button here, which I can't. Oh, you just pull it out. There we go. Pull that out, and look, the Emperor appears in his seat.
See,
and they've got minifigures with them, but I can't bother. They're all in that little thing. You've got a Vader.
In a way, it's very Playmobil-esque, where there's always little intricacies and little details and little. Do you know what I mean? So even though it's a completely different scale, it roughly, it's the details you want and the little things and this and that and so forth. I think they're brilliant.
But yeah, these I love these. Like I could sit and play with these for hours, even now probably. Like I think they're so intricate and detailed, and yeah. So I've got, like I said, I've pretty much got them all, and I've got all the boxes, but they're in the loft. So there's one here. This is the old Darth Maul one, except it's just falling apart because it does that quite often. But that's the Darth Maul one, which is again it kind of it's really hard to show this because of I'm trying to do it with 400 hands here, but you've got you've got his interceptor, you've got Maul, you've got Obi-Wan, and obviously you can recreate the battle on the where's that come out here? One of these comes out. Wait a minute.
Now are these rare as well? Are these two a dozen? You can find them.
Yes and no. They're actually really hard to get complete. So they're easy to find, and you can just Google Micro Machine Star Wars heads on eBay, and there's loads on there, but they're never really complete. If the truth.
So how does it go for you and Jesse then? So say for example you're at a convention or a toy fair or even Facebook or whatever marketplace looking at them, and you come across a set that's not complete. Do you two know how easy it is to find the little pieces for it, or do you just not bother getting it?
I just look up the box art or the box on eBay and see.
Right.
If you look at the back, it shows you everything that it comes with. So I'll just do a quick glance at that and then look back and see, is this complete to me?
So, but would you pick it up if it wasn't complete, Jesse?
No, I wouldn't.
No,
you wouldn't, Adam. No, right? Okay.
This isn't something I particularly love. Like they're cool, but I prefer the flatter play set. So I only have 2 of these.
I got some more.
But they're super neat. But if I'm going to get 2 of them, I'm going to get them boxed with everything complete.
Okay.
Right. They're like I said, I've got all the boxes for them. I haven't taken a picture of this, but I've got to show you this. I did show everybody on Lewis's video, but yeah.
I love this one. I had it as a kid.
Yeah. This is the ultimate one, actually. You've got the Death Star. And
that's what was in that case of mine that I just threw in for 20 quid. That was in there. That's the one.
This fully complete is about a 50, 60 pound toy. Easily.
Oh, well. Someone in America is happy.
Someone done really well out of you there.
And this is a double take, just like the Firehouse.
I've got to be careful with this because I'm going to break it eventually. But you press this lever, and it just all folds out.
But it's not. I saw this on it. It's not just Return of the Jedi. You've got Luke's Tatooine homestead in there. You've got the what is it? The Jabba's palace in there.
Yeah, I've got a Tauntaun in there and some other little figures in there. You've even got, it's pretty grim. You've even got a burnt corpse of Aunt Beru or whatever.
That is brilliant.
Down there as well. Yeah, so that's pretty grim. But yeah, it's really cool. Like, you got the dewback on the old. But what I like about these playsets is they filled out the depth by putting pictures and stuff molded to the things. Like, you've obviously got you've got the band there, but they're kind of like molded in, so they don't take up any space, but they give depth to the scene. So I'm a big fan of that kind of thing. But yeah, I just love transforming this, and one day it's just going to all break on me because
that's so cool.
You know,
And Shabby, if you remember on when we did the top 5, I was showing you the artwork for one of my play sets.
You sure did, yeah.
This was one of the 4 whose artwork on the box was commissioned for Ralph McQuarrie. So
that's right. I remember you saying, and me and VTR and our side were amazed by this because it was like newish Ralph McQuarrie, not newish, but 90s Ralph McQuarrie artwork.
90,
and we were like,
95,
what?
96, somewhere in there.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So this is so how many of these did they do then? They must have done about what? 3, 6, 9, about 12 Star Wars headsets did they do, Adam?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I might be missing one. I can't remember what one. I think I might be missing one because I think I've got 11.
Matt's Collection says, I love what they did with the Millennium Falcon in that set.
Oh, the full,
folds out like so.
Yeah, there was a fold out Falcon, yeah.
If only we knew someone who had entire catalogs that could just double check and reference.
If only we knew. It's an awesome place that says our Des. But as a kid, that annoyed me not being able to get inside of the Death Star. But it's a really, really nice piece. Yeah, it's awesome, man. Yeah. God damn it, Adam, that's super cool.
Yeah,
look at him. He's going to get thrown out. Adam, how much does that Death Star go for complete in a box, says our Ricardo?
I reckon you'd probably get it complete in a box for about 70, 80 quid, I reckon, maybe.
Wow, that's not so. It's not a bad price then. That I would have thought.
This is the thing about everything Micro Machines, unless they're really rare, like the 18 van.
Yeah,
it's not an expensive line to get into, and that's why it's really accessible compared to a lot of other vintage toys.
Yeah,
and there's some really cool stuff. It doesn't take up much space, so space is a premium for us collectors. Not everybody's got a lot of money, so it's cheap and it's space. It's not space hungry. It's like a perfect line to get into if you wanted to get into vintage toy buying, in my opinion.
I love it. Brilliant.
So
I agree with Sai.
And then the prices go up, and I'll be rich. So
right. Well, so our Sai says both got some fantastic set there. So I'm going to cause a fight, right? So if there's something that Jesse's got that you really want, and what something that Adam's got that you really want,
probably. I've not seen all of Jesse. To me, I know for a fact them catalogs I would love to look at, and they look ace. And these National Geographic Kennedy Space Center is just it is just pure beautiful. That is look at that box. Nice. Just look at it. That is that's awesome.
Let me just make you big a second with that. That's lovely. That really
it's like an astronaut's helmet. Like, how cool is that? Like,
that's exactly what it is. Yeah, I never noticed that.
Yeah, that is super cool, and that's later than I would normally go for.
And unfortunately, the T-Rex is the hard one to find. You can find a few loose, but if you want the box, you're paying a lot of money for it.
Wow,
super cool.
And then they did all these other play sets for like. Where's my finger? Dinosaurs and also vehicles. Everything National Geographic about being outdoors and exploring the world, but also dinosaurs.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I have to admit, if I walk into Sandown on Saturday and I've got that set there, then it's probably coming home with me.
So that'd be yours. What's yours then? What's Adam got that you want? It's that Argos chuck in. It's the Argos chuck.
No, that Death Star is so cool. I had that double take Death Star, and I did spend a lot of time playing with it. It is pretty neat.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But I've been eyeing that aircraft carrier because it comes up in a box once in a while.
Aircraft carrier. Oh, yeah. This thing. Let's have it. Hang on.
They have newer ones. They did later ones in the 90s that were much more detailed, but I just love the little pudginess of that. And I love the box art too, or the box too.
You know what's cool as well? I think that is an index or catalog number. You know, index. Remember index, Shabby?
I do, yeah. My word. Now you're going back. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, but this is really cool. And again, the lines on it, like I've got that one. Got a few others. Got the super van.
I have the foldouts on your right hand side. Those two fold-out play sets and the city, the toolbox city I have as well.
Yeah, I've got the super. Actually, Eric, I can't remember his username on here, but Eric gifted me the super van. I've got the big super van as well, the big white super van somewhere. That's a wicked place.
That van has been repainted, I think, at least 8 or 9 times.
Yeah.
Oh, so they would do that. They'd use the same molds for stuff as it goes. Like, right, okay.
Not often. A lot of their stuff is unique, but that Van City playset got reused for like several different city paint schemes, outdoor paint schemes. They did a girl one that was all pink. And military one. It just kept getting reused over and over and over for like 10 years.
Well, you just said about a pink one for a girl one. Would you say Micro Machines was specifically a boy band or for everybody?
When you from the eyes of the 90s, I would say it was geared towards boys.
Right.
All the commercials, how culture perceived it, it was a boys' toy line.
Got you. So they did aim it for the lads then, right? Okay.
And every commercial, it was boys. I mean, that's just how they did it back then.
Sorry, I just thought I can't find something. I thought it was no, it's this. Thanks to Luke Reynolds, and this will Keith will like this. Look, it's a police helicopter.
They did that. That was in orange. That was in.
They made it in camo, orange, God knows, red, whatever, didn't they?
Yeah.
So in other words, it's like a fire chopper, police chopper, military chopper. That
one reminds me of, because also they did Carabinieri. Italy has a Micro Machine whole line for Carabinieri vehicles play sets where it's painted like their federal police, I guess is what they are. I guess in Italy, like police are sort of like nationwide, and then versus like citywide, but Carabinieri has their own line of Micro Machines that Galoob did for them, just vehicles and everything, repainted that specific blue for them.
Kevin says, sadly, they didn't make Gem over. Well, I would have bought them then if they would have done that. Do you know what I mean? Adam sent me a picture of Gem stuff at when he went away.
They might have. No, Gem. That was Hasbro.
Yeah, there you go, Keith.
I think like the UK, Polly Pocket was the female version of Micro Machines.
That's a good point. So little girls did like this sort of thing then. You know what I mean? Yeah. The little intricacies and
yeah, because Mattel had also micro ponies. Like, including play sets for the ponies too.
Like stables and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and they were real small, but they were neat.
Yeah. Gap says, Adam, what happened to the Dirty Dancing post that used to be in the corner?
It's not in here at the moment because I've got the peg wall there now.
Yeah.
And the peg wall kind of overtook it, but I've still got it. But it's just not
talking about posters and so. I've got to say, Adam, it made me put a massive smile on my face, man, because me and we've done over the years, we've done loads of these streams, whatever. So I've seen most of your pictures and your celebrities and all that sort of stuff. So you're doing this collection movie, the camera goes round, and in your front room, I think there's a massive picture of you and Tom Cruise. I tell you, it did put a smile on my face because we've always seen it, but I didn't realize that you had it blown up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's in my hallway. It's there's a picture of me and Tom Cruise and me and David Beckham, and they sit in my hallway. So when I come out my kitchen, that's who I see. So,
Rob says, this has been a great chat to listen to. I have loved this, Jesse and Adam. I've loved it. Loads of love and knowledge for this line. Adam's biggest love, Micro Machine or G.I. Joe?
That is a real tough one because genuinely you could chuck Mask into the mix there and I would struggle to separate them because I have really personal early memories of all three lines. And so I would really struggle to separate them, which is why the majority of my collection is Mask, G.I. Joe, or Micro Machines. And, and that's just it. Obviously, I branched out into some other little things because that's naturally what happens. But, That's
Really? Does it?
Yeah, exactly.
I know that feeling. Yeah.
Random things like I've started getting into Japanese toys. Like that's a rabbit hole and a half.
I remember VTR made a video years ago with these Japanese robots, and I was like, "Wow, I've never heard of these." So I can see the appeal for them because they do look cool, don't they? They look awesome. Let me ask you another question. I give you a bunch of money tomorrow, so money's no expense. Tomorrow you can go out and buy the Micro Machines piece that you want. Which one is it?
That's a good question, actually.
I'm a professional, Adam. I'm a professional.
Yeah, it's not overly expensive, but I suppose there's two. There's two Micro Machines things I've always wanted. The 18 van, and then there was a Jeep. Jeep, which is a really common Jeep, but it was made in white with the Micro Machine sign on it. And I'm pretty sure it was a mail away only, or was it a sweepstake? I think it's a sweepstakes. If you Google it, Jess, if you're not seen it, it's the white Micro Machine Jeep. Rarely comes up for sale. That's pretty cool because I've pretty much got all the mail aways now, and that's probably the only one I don't have. So yeah, probably that. I guess. So it wouldn't be massive. Well, it would be expensive, but it wouldn't be massively.
Well, what's expensive? It's like for a small Jeep. This is the part that gets me.
It's easy, big, few £100.
It's like Ricardo turned around and said that thing's like £400 for that 18.
Yeah, I've seen the 18 van go in the UK for about 200, 250.
I shouldn't really be surprised. I was talking to our side about minifigures, and then our side got me a couple of the Muppet Show ones, and I thought I'll collect the rest of them. It was only 12, and I'd only been out 6 months, and some of them to like 27, 28 quid. But then I realized that some of these minifigures can go for like $1,800 to $10,000 for a minifigure. Yeah. So I shouldn't really be surprised that Micro Machines does it too.
Yeah, no, it does.
Yeah, I think for me, it's the, going back, that T-Rex playset.
That would be the one.
Because I love archaeology, I love history, cool. I love National Geographic. It's just, it kind of crosses a lot of lanes for me.
Yeah, I got me them 3 sets I could easily get caught up in, like getting in.
I thought you might enjoy this. So in one of the play sets, this is a weird one done by the Toy Boys. It's a cardboard play set that folds out, and then they have these cheap plastic buildings that you put stickers on.
See, I would have loved that as a kid.
But it comes with a vehicle. It's a military vehicle because it's the military line. Have you ever seen? This is what happens if the Germans get a hold of your Sherman.
Yeah.
So some little historical inaccuracies here, but it's just little things like this that make me smile. Where it's just, oh come on, focus camera.
Yeah, we can see. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, there we go.
See, I've got a German Red Baron plane, Micro Machine biplane, and it's in a set. I've never opened it, and I love it because it's just a German Red Baron plane.
But you'll only get this in this one set that only shows up once in a while. So it's
through the thing, the lifetime of they've done a lot of just exclude, because both of you have said tonight there's certain things that you've both shown and gone, you can only get this in this, you can only get this on that, and so forth. So does that where the hunt for them comes from then? When you collect, it's like I've got to find this one that was in this exclusive set, and is that what mainly people are looking for?
Yeah, I guess so. When you've collected like a lot of things, when you've collected the majority of the basic stuff from any toy line, you're going to look for the weird stuff, where it be the B-spin Luke that's got a slightly different shade hair to another one, aren't you? You're going to do that. But
yeah,
I will point out there's another weird oddity as well. Is like I said, I think I pointed out earlier. Have you got that SO Mailaway, Exxon, is it no Texaco Mailaway to hand, Jesse?
I did a second ago.
See, I think this is hilarious, and I think I mentioned it earlier. I mention it pre-stream, but this makes me crack up that Mailaway was European only. There was 24 of them, and you can't get them at all in Europe. Yet they were European only. But you can get them in America. Like, it just blows my mind. It just makes no sense. So, like, they're
not expensive. They're a couple
and they're not
of dollars.
expensive, yeah. But it's 24 of them. So now I'm like, I've got 2 of them. So now I'm trying to find the other 22. He's just like, what is going on? Like,
it's just like every time the phone rings, God, it's him again. He needs another one. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, I'm expecting this to be here in a week, so I'll be able to get this up to Adam. And then it's like, oh, wait, hold on. I got to wait for the other thing to ship.
Oh,
but the funny thing is, all the stuff I've ordered, I reckon Jesse could put it in a shoebox, if that, because it's all so tiny. So it's all like, it's like so to space.
I've said it before. Then I'll say, I think it's awesome that you're both helping each other. That's what collectors should do for each other. Do you know what I mean? It's
my
lovely.
Only
that
concern is getting this over to the UK, like this piece, because everything can be crammed real tight into a small box. But I need to like bubble this.
I trust you, mate. You'll bubble wrap it, all right. You're gonna wrap it in.
It adds to like, the weight of it, where it's like I don't want this damaged.
Are you going to wrap it in birthday paper for me again? Our little trick.
They are. Question for the guests: what's the biggest place set available?
I don't think. Well, there is probably a couple, but they're just. I wouldn't say they're massively big, and that I know of. But there's things like the super van, which I haven't got to hand, is quite big. The tank, which Jesse's got, is quite big.
Yeah,
but they're not massive. Like they really. That's what I mean. Like nothing's big in the micro machine line, at all. It kind of goes against it otherwise. So
I feel like this is the biggest I have. Well, the tank is the longest, but I feel like this might be the biggest. So they did these play sets. The material is like that plastic that you use for binders.
Oh, and it's the same thing like the Star Wars cases and the Joe cases. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But they fold out. Which way am I going? This way. It folds out, and then it folds out again.
What?
This is really hard to do.
Yeah, I found that. You need like 3 arms.
So it's already wide, but then you have the whole mountain you assemble.
Like I said, it's the play value, Shabby. You think like
I agree, yeah.
The play value is mental with things like this.
It really is. Brilliant. I'd have killed for something. The thing is, as kids, I can just see you two playing with this sort of stuff for hours with this sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
I still do.
That's what I like to hear. That was brilliant. See, that's big though. That is big for micro machines, isn't it? So
and they made a couple of different sizes there's 2 or 3 that's this size, and then there's a couple that are like this but smaller ones, like the one. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, a lot of things did this though. I remember Planet of the Apes did it, Big Jim did it, Barbie did it, where it was a case that you opened up and it turned into a, Superpowers did it, I think, at the start. They've got one like the Batcave. I think Mego did it for the Batcave. The same thing.
It's the Hall of Justice, isn't there? The Hall of Justice, Superpower Hall of Justice is very similar like that, isn't it? Opens up and it's kind of
opens up and so forth. Yeah, you're exactly right, pal.
When you compare something like this in my arms to the smallest one, which just fits right there.
Yeah. So what we're looking at now then, so as we said at the very, very start, I showed you that it says from 2020 to present. So since the year 2020, they're still making them. What are they making now then? Are they doing retro? Are they going back? Or, and I've got to be honest, I haven't seen micro machines in years. So where do you find
in Target? They make something like this still with 5 cars.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's like 2 or 3 sets. And that's it.
Yeah. There is real cars either.
Right. Okay.
There's a small crossover, transformer crossover. These little small boxes that you open up.
Yeah, the Transformers. They are doing. I've got Transformers license, so they did have it, and that's quite cool.
Yeah.
Also, they're doing like it's not micro machines, but you can tell like. I love the Jazzware stuff, the Galaxy Squadron stuff. But again,
I bought a couple of them. I've loved it. Yeah, I've really liked it.
They don't sell them in the UK anymore, so they're very hard to get. So
they're cheap over here now. I remember them doing that Falcon at $49. I got it for $15. That was it. At Walmart clearance. So,
but if you're looking for a micro machine size, Jada has them in the US at least. I don't know about the UK, but they do 3-packs of vehicles that are micro machine size based on movie licenses.
Yeah,
so
they
Batman,
do,
Jurassic Park,
Back to the Future,
Turtles.
It would if they did a thing like the retro collection has with Star Wars or GI Joe's gone back to the car backs and the real Ghostbusters. If they did this with Michael, like they've done with Mask, so obviously they're bringing out Mask again. Would you buy it again? So in other words, if they did all the stuff that you two had from the 80s and 90s and did it all over again, would you buy it?
No.
No, I was going to say for me, no. It'd only be if they'd improved it in some way. I don't know how they can improve it. But like for me, if it was just a straight up reissue, like I've said before, I'd rather have the original.
Right. Okay. So you'll stick with basic. Because would you say it's because I've always had that thing when it comes to retro stuff. Well, because maybe stuff's so expensive, or maybe you can't find it as clean, or is that? But with Micro Machines, it sounds from you today. This is pretty relatively easy to find or get hold of.
It is, so and it's relatively cheap. The only thing I would say is there is obviously certain stuff which is more the kind of weird niche stuff, which is harder to get. But if you just wanted, let's be honest, so something like these are more of the more pricier stuff. So like that one in my left hand is probably anything from £100-150 maybe, and that is probably similar, maybe a bit cheaper, but that's the top end of these kind of sets. You can pick these like later sets, 1989. I've got a few over there for like 30 quid, 35 quid. So, these ones are a bit more difficult to get because they're very first sets and got special cars in them and stuff like that. But again, this wasn't £100-150 in America. It's 100-150 quid in the UK. In America, this was a lot. I think this was 60-70 quid.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's quite a bit different. That's the top you're going to really pay for these kind of sets. Like I said, the sets that are more expensive are the Predator, the late 90s ones where they didn't make as many of them. So the Predator.
That's what makes it the rarity of them.
Right. The action fleet stuff, it gets kind of pricey. But even though the ones that Adam were showing are the rainbow toys, Galoob sold those same sets, but they had different cars in them.
Yeah.
And they had a number system. The numbers were right on the box, like number 1, number 2, number 3. Those are cheap.
Yeah,
they're
the 88, 89, so you can tell that these are the 87s because they don't have the numbers on. And weirdly, I just noticed that actually this one's the rainbow toys, but because I bought this in England, but this one isn't.
Oh, okay.
So there's hundreds of these, isn't there? There's hundreds of these cars.
So then the numbered ones was like the line reissued.
Yeah, so number one. So what it was 88, 89.
Yeah,
they built out like 1 to 49 sets, and then they bought them out again in 89, but just different colours, pretty much.
Did they keep a tab on how many there were then? So, like for example, you turn around a Star Wars car back and you saw them all, collect all this. Did they do something like that with Micro Machines?
For lines, they did.
For lines, right?
Yeah. For the specific line it's a part of. Yeah.
There is a book that I've got which kind of gives some stuff in, and then the best book I've got is.
Oh, do you have that big white Micro Machine? Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, a guy in the UK made this book.
Yeah.
Which is what I showed you the 18 van out of. And he's got over 1,000 different, and he breaks it all down.
Wow.
And, but like I said, that's per vehicle. But there is a couple of websites online where you can look to see, but there's not one big compendium. That's the closest to it, actually. There's so many different things, so many prototypes and weird things, and like I said, there's crazy money. Like you can pay nearly £1,000 for some prototypes easily.
Fascinating.
Yeah, Galoob knew it couldn't compete directly with Hasbro and Mattel, and the idea behind their company is like as much as we can, as creative as we can get.
Yeah, I've actually got some Transformers MicroMasters, which is why I was pointing that way. But I also had every single Transformers MicroMaster, and I sold them all.
So what are these? Are these part of Micro Machines, Transformers MicroMasters, or it's their own thing?
They were just a small line. They were bigger than Micro Machines, but they were kind of cool. They were cool. I quite liked them. I appreciate them.
Goji knows the answer to that question for me because I don't collect Transformers, and often I have to ask him, "What's this?"
Yeah, I've got
my last question to you two tonight, and I just want to again just thank you both, and we've had, like I said, 35 to 40 all night, so I really appreciate everybody coming in and listening. So thank you both for sharing your love of this. It's been brilliant. I've really enjoyed it. My last question is: so you've got all that stuff behind you. You had to get rid of it all, but keep one piece. Which piece would you keep, and why would you keep it?
Aircraft carrier for me.
Yeah.
And that's only because of memories as a kid. I wanted this, and my parents got it for me. And when I was in the Cubs, when I was a kid, to get my collector's badge, I had to take a collection in, and I took all my micro machines, and this was like my pride and joy at the time. So I had a box of all my micro machines, this and all like loose micro machines, the Travel City sets and all that. And this was the one I was most excited to show off. So cool. I think just for that memory alone, probably this.
You have that loose as well, or just like that?
I've got it. It's loose in the box, and it's not. It's been opened, so I could get it out of the box, but I haven't got it on display loose.
So yours would be the aircraft carrier. What would yours be, Jess?
Now, are you throwing Action Fleet into that question, or is it
whatever you want? You can keep one out of all of them.
Let's see. Because to me, actually,
Jesse's like, I got it.
It's easier to get rid of something when you can keep something else.
Yes.
Because if I can keep the Action Fleet, I would keep the Rebel Transport because it fits in with that scale. If I have to get rid of everything,
I'll keep one.
Barracuda Bay.
Barracuda Bay.
It's the one I wanted as a kid that I never got, and it's probably the best. It has the most playability in terms of what you can do with it, and I just think it's the coolest set. And I have pictures of Godzilla stomping over this, so it's just a great set piece.
Golgi said something like that before about Godzilla wrecking up the thing. Vintage Choira says, when does the Micro Machines Club meet up? Asking for a friend who's just got the door.
You could be added to the group, but Dave, if you buy any more, I might have to get you one of these. Now, this is the official collector's badge.
Oh, they are. Look at that.
So these are pin badges. These can be quite pricey, but I got this as a kid, and when I first started collecting, I was like, I have to get one back. So yeah, this is also what got me my collector's badge in Cubs, because basically I had an official collector's badge.
Brilliant. So, but it's just funny asking for a friend who just got it. He just got this.
I'm loving the fact that BTR was part of the gang.
No willpower. And Boris says, the memory. Hey, it's been great, hasn't it, Boris? It's been brilliant. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Boris is my dad.
Is he? Yeah, Boris has been here before. He has been in before. He
does pop in now and again. It's not his real name. He just, it's a pseudonym.
Boris, well, Boris, it's always good to see you, pal. Watching Shabby's for a friend, everyone. Of course it is. Absolutely. Anything else to say before we go?
Not really. I could do a bit of promotional stuff, I guess. But...
Yeah, no, that's what we're going to do. That definitely. But anything you want to say about Micro Machines before we get to the promotional stuff?
Only that if it's not Micro Machines written on it, it's not the real thing.
I do absolutely brilliant.
And for me, think big, play small. Micro Machines.
Big, play small. Brilliant. Adam, you got that T-shirt on, mate. What? Tell everybody about what's coming up.
This is a mock-up I got. This isn't the official T-shirt, but this is obviously for my toy fair. I am getting new T-shirts done for me and the guys. I think the guys are worried what colours they're going to end up with. I did threaten them that they might get pink T-shirts if they're not careful. But
hey, it's Blackpool Tangerine. It's not bad, that one.
But obviously we've got a toy fair coming up end of October, Sunday, 26th of October. We've got some wicked sellers, and we've got a new venue. And
this is the third one now, isn't it? Is it the third one you've done? I mean, I've got to say, on behalf of all the lads in our group, we're all dead proud of you, man. You've done really well at this. So third, and it just gets bigger and bigger every time you do it, doesn't it? So
it does. And to be honest, it's awesome though. The community is wicked because the people who come to every one, or come to even one of them. But there's a core group of people. I won't name them all because they were there right at the start. They came to the first one when
they know who they are. Yeah.
We thought only 20 people would turn up, and we had like 500 people turn up, you know. So it's like it means a lot in that respect. Like me and the two Daves who they're not as much into coming on these streams as, like, you know, I'm quite happy to chat about stuff. They don't like to do it, but they, you know, we work really hard to put it on, and we want just people to have a good time and enjoy the toys and stuff like that. So that's all we really want. So we're just as long as people will come, we'll still keep doing it. That's just honestly the truth. So,
well, it's a shame me and Jesse can't go, because I'd definitely go to one of them if I was over there.
No, I really would.
That's
I
awesome.
was trying to go this year, but unfortunately the drop in the American dollar and just the global stuff has kind of messed that up for a little bit. So hopefully next year things are a little more smooth.
Like I said, we do every October time. It depends, the date changes. It's always October and April, really, but it's just whereabouts it falls in that month. Obviously, we try and avoid all the other big shows like NEC and Echo and anybody else who's got a big show near us. We don't really want to overlap with them because we think it's a bit like not the dumb thing. So we kind of have to work around things. It's quite hard to get put on. But like I said, we're really pleased that the people have shown up and we appreciate the support.
Are you happy with the new building?
Yes, 100%. It's bigger. It's more than twice the size of the last one.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, you will be happy then. With that.
So we've got a lot more sellers. You know, it's just it's my old school, so I've got a lot of memories there. It's my junior school, so like the equivalent of like elementary kind of, I guess, for in America. Like I was there from the age of 4 to 11, and it is like every time I go back there, I love it. I've got so many memories and stuff like that, and it's just a weird thing to be putting on a toy fair in the school that I went to. Like, it's for me, that's really awesome. So,
oh, brilliant, mate, and brilliant. So yeah, I mean, no doubt some of the lads in our community will make videos of it, and we'll see about it. And maybe if you want, my friend, we're more than welcome to come on and do a stream afterwards, take some pictures. We'll talk about it. No issue. Jesse, what about you? You got anything coming up, my friend?
No, I'm gonna be, now that I'm set up and I have a proper table for picture taking, I'm gonna be posting more stuff up on the Instagram. I do have a channel, but nothing's really on it. Other than a few unboxings.
The idea, Jesse, is to make stuff on your channel. Do you see how it works? Do you know what I mean? So
I would like to start with all of this and get it up.
It'll be awesome. I've loved it. We've done tonight, Wednesday, me, Si, our Des, and Keith. We're going to go through Keith sent me some fantastic photos and videos of his Playmobil shed. Now it's progressed, and if you watch the last one, if you haven't seen it, if you go into our my channel, you'll see the Keith's Playmobil story. And if you watch that to see what you'll see on Wednesday and how much it's changed. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to that. And next week, I think Top 5's coming back. So we've got Top 5 coming back. So yeah, we've got one more Tub Thumpers that me and Si will do. And then obviously if Adam, Des and Zoe can do it, we'll be doing obviously the third gallery one that we've done every time a season finishes. So we're going to get that done with Red 5. That's September the 11th. But then Top 5, and then Si's got some ideas, some great ideas of live streams that we're doing. So no doubt we'll put them up and we'll tell everybody. But that's great. Thank you all so much. Thank you to Jesse. Thank you to Adam. I've absolutely loved it, boys. It's been brilliant. All right. Say good night. We'll see everybody again soon.
See you. Bye.